Good evening, dear friends. Oh, so happy to have you with us. You know what? As we're talking, I forgot I don't have my background up. Bingo, have it now. So happy to have you with us on this really kind of stormy Thursday evening here in New York City. My name is Nicholas Vaselli. I'm the artistic director of Theater Breaking Through Barriers. And on behalf of all of us, all of our artists, all of our administrative team, our board, all of the people who make TBTB what it is, I am very pleased to welcome you to I guess we'll call it take two of Theater Breaking Through Barriers' third Hybrid Playmakers Intensive, HPI3, DRAMAPHEMERA, or this is the take two part, The Lost Plays. Um, if you joined us or if you watched since Monday, we've been doing this since Monday, you'll know that for our last intensive, we actually created 12 plays, six of which were performed on Zoom. And then we had six other shows, which we performed before a studio audience. And it was, of course, our intention on that final evening, May 4th, to simulcast those plays on Zoom and YouTube so that all of you could see the work. Unfortunately, technology was not being friendly with us, and we ended up not able to do the live stream that night. In fact, if you tuned in, you probably just saw a blank screen. Sorry about that. So it's really kind of exciting to be able to say, you know what, we filmed these plays. Why don't we share them now? And it just sort of gives us a chance to extend our intensive, and it gives you another chance to see our work. So it's been really wonderful. I have to say, of all of our hybrid intensives over the last several years, this one I think is our best yet. I think the work was just so well done. Uh, all of the plays, the virtual plays, if you want to see them, you could see them on our website. And the plays that we're giving you a chance to see this week have all been phenomenal. We have a wonderful show tonight. It was written by the incredible Cate Allen and directed by the incredible and ubiquitous Stuart Green. The play is called 2 Weeks Later. Come on, guys, come on. It stars, oh my God, Samantha, Debicki, Sarah Polen, and Helen Coxe, who can't be here tonight. We feel bad about that. We tried, but you know, when you're a very busy person and you have other commitments, what can we do? But I'm so thrilled that we have such a wonderful cast. Stuart, it's so good to see you. Cate, Sarah, Sammy, thank you for being with us tonight. Um, I always ask, I guess, the first question. This is kind of a weird intensive for us because normally we never do a little come on before the show starts to talk about it. But since these are screenings and you don't have to perform, um, before we start, I just want to ask one little question. How was it? What was it like to work on this play? And I'm gonna start with you, Sammy.
I mean, it was like 2 months ago, and I feel like I'm in a bit of cognitive decline at the moment. But um, no, I mean, we had a lot of fun. We had a great when we were first randomly assigned to each other. We had a great initial meeting where I think
Mhm.
Cate was just trying to get a sense of, as facilitated by Disco Stew, trying to get a sense of how who we were, what we were interested in doing, how we perhaps wanted to play against the types that were handed to us. So we had this great conversation, and then she took it and ran with it, and came back like whatever 10 days later, or 2 weeks later, with this really well fleshed out play that just I don't know. She really got the scope of what a short play can be. It just felt like she put it was rich, but it was a manageable amount.
Mhm.
I think I don't know. We enjoyed each other. We laughed a lot and felt pretty good about ourselves most of the time, I'd say.
That, that's great. That's the best, the best possible, I think, uh, sort of, I guess, reviewer experience I think that you could have with this. Sarah, this is your first time working
Yes.
with us.
Yes.
What was this like for you?
It was great. I loved every second of it. And it was all thanks to Anne Marie because I'm in the Manhattan Plaza um, choir, and one of the fellows had a party, and Anne Marie came. She told us about this. Otherwise, I would never have known anything about this. And it was just for me, especially kind of the right moment because I haven't done a play since 2023. Um, and I just, it's the constant self tapes, and to actually perform is, there's nothing like it. So I was very impressed with what Cate came up with for this play. I mean, really impressed. She captured our personal tics and what where the play takes place. How did she know that we were capable of what she has us do? And we worked very well together, Samantha, Helen, and myself. And we had fun. I wrote down, and I wanted to write this as an email to everyone, that there's a line in Fiddler, and it's from that Yenta says, and it was, and the line is, "It's a perfect match," and that's what that's what it was with our very our director Stuart, who he wanted to do this professionally and nothing but. He was going to have this piece presented that way, and I appreciated that he took it very seriously with us, and our yes, and I think my time is up.
Well, no, I'm thrilled. It's exciting to hear that. Now we'll talk more on the back end. Stuart, what did you think? How was it directing this wonderful group?
Well, when you're dealing with some delightful artists like Cate Capizio, Allen, Samantha Dancehall Debicki, and Sarah Sachet Polen, I mean, it's just music. I guess we got to go with the disco theme. It's all dance hall, but it really is just falling in a rhythm. Cate just gave us such wonderful and wonderful material to work with, and then at that point, it was just a matter of laying it out and then getting everybody on the same page, literally and figuratively and metaphorically. And it was just fun. It was just fun. We were, I think the biggest thing was that we were able to, as we got in person and started to work through the meat of it, that we were able to find things and explore and just explore and discover. And so that was the part of it that I enjoyed. And everyone brought their A game to the table, and except the camera, which is why we're here tonight. But the camera's here to redeem its lost theme.
Yeah.
But it was fun working with everybody, and just a real pleasure.
In this case, the camera's a lifesaver, because if it wasn't for that, these plays truly would be lost. And so I have to really give credit where credit is due. Thank you, camera. What could you do? But thank you.
Thank you.
Cate, I just have one question, and then we'll talk more about it, because I'm going to ask you first on the back end. How do you do this?
She's good.
I thought it was going to be, why do I do this?
Well, that's going to be the next question. So think about a good answer.
How do I do this? I just love actors, and I love weird and wonderful and hilarious directors, and I got it all with this play. So it was like, it was really a walk in the park. It was just so much fun. We did have a great time right off the bat. I felt like everybody was really loose, and yet everybody was really wanted to go deep, and everybody showed up with their A game. And Stuart was our fearless leader, and well suited. And I just think it was one of those crazy things where everything just came together kind of effortlessly.
I'm so happy. That's it all showed. It was such a great play. And I think the whole evening, it had a real arc to it. I deliberately ordered this play after the play that we showed last night, because there is a theme in this play of echoes that in a way. Not, and they're two very different plays. I don't want to make it sound like they're the same plays at all. It's just completely different styles, completely everything. But you'll understand. The audience who saw last night's show will understand, and you'll all understand as well. So, all right, everyone off camera, please. And we're gonna get this. We're gonna get this thing started. Let me just get to the film, get it all loaded up here. Where are we? All right, here we go. So, dear friends, without further ado, please sit back, relax, and enjoy Cate Allen's 2 Weeks Later.
Hi, I'm Samantha Debicki, playing Shoshana. I'm a small redhead wearing yoga clothes and carrying a yoga mat.
I'm Helen Coxe, playing Annie. I am 5'3", and I am wearing ripped sweatpants and a gray shirt.
And I'm Sarah Polen, and I think I might be the same height. I'm probably 5'3" also, and I am wearing a white beanie or a white ski cap, woolen ski cap. I have on a gray hoodie, a plaid shirt, a man's white t-shirt, and a man's oversized corduroy pants, and gray socks, or charcoal socks. And I think that's about it. Is that good?
Yeah, great. Thank you.
Hey, that's nice.
Yeah, I know.
Hello and welcome.
Hey.
Hi.
I'm so happy to see you here. Thank you for joining me today.
Yeah, well,
Kind of miraculous.
Oh, I'm sure, and I appreciate the effort. I hope that by coming together, we bring each other respite in these challenging times.
Sounds good.
I'm Shoshana.
Oh, I'm Joan.
Annie. And can we get started?
Of course. Why don't you join me in a hero's pose?
Ow!
Oh, it shouldn't hurt.
Yeah, well, it does. Oh. Oh. And look at you. You make it look so damn easy.
It is.
Wow.
Let us circle our arms to the sky on a delicious inhale and release them back to the earth on an exhale. Bring our awareness to our heart center, the space at the center of the chest. Feel it expand, rise and fall underneath our breath as we scan our body, starting at the root chakra, releasing any tension into the ether.
Oh my God. How do you do that? How do you release to your ether?
Oh, no, not to the urethra. Into the ether.
Ah, got it. Okay.
Let's come to our feet, rolling slowly up to stand in our mountain pose. Step our right foot forward, turn the left foot out slightly and lengthen our spine, bending forward into our pyramid pose, hinging at our hip to be mindful and gentle with the lower back.
How do you do that?
And then, if you like, transition slowly into a reverse triangle.
Oh no. Oh no. No. That's crazy. Nope, I'm not doing that. No, thank you.
I'm crushing this.
I think you might be pushing.
No, I'm fine.
Let's just back off.
No, you back off. I don't need your help. Shut up.
You shut
You're
up.
not a good teacher.
Okay, we must let go of the idea that yoga is something to master. If anything, it exists to teach us that there is no right way to do a pose. There's only our expression of it. Because our bodies are simply the vessel that carry our spirits through this plane of existence during the journey we have, during the time that they have been given to us.
Clearly, that's bullshit.
Yeah, I didn't understand that at all.
I don't come to yoga to be fine with mediocrity. I'm here to improve as much as I can.
I kind of agree with that.
You know, I don't know what you're thinking, but nobody wants your opinion.
Okay. Fuck you.
Shall we, let's try again. Maybe some restorative poses. Okay, here, why don't we come down to our mats and our chairs and come into a nice, deep child's pose. One of the most calming, restful poses in all of yoga. So soothing to the central nervous system. Just breathe in and breathe out.
You know, with everything that's going on out there.
Oh, that's my fault.
In and out.
You could just be nice. Try being nice.
You could try shutting up so this doesn't have to be about you. Loser.
Just be in the moment. It's all you have, this moment. Be present.
Don't even look at me.
Oh my God, like I even care.
No thought, no chatter. Just breathe.
The ball's on you.
What is that supposed to mean?
Be in the moment. Be in the moment. Be in the fucking moment. Breathe. Center. Breathe. I'd like to offer a reading by Rumi.
Come on. Can we do some chaturanga, some downward dog, some decent flow? Pick it up. I want to sweat.
A 13th century Sufi mystic.
No, absolutely not. Stop before I pick up Joan and throw her at you.
I'd like to hear it.
Would you just let me teach? It's what I'm here to do. To bring maybe a little bit of light into this misery so that we can feel some genuine warmth or maybe even allow ourselves some hope. Just some. A little. It's fleeting, but it's all we have. Because it's feeling pretty bleak out there. And really, there's nothing more we can do than be careful with what we, ourselves, bring to each other. To be decent. How about that? Just while we're in here. For each other. And then maybe we can go out there and do it for someone else. Change another human being's life just for a few minutes. Huh? What about that? What do you think about that?
Shoshana, if that's your real name. If you think people come to yoga for spiritual enlightenment, you're fooling yourself. They come to try to get a better ass. That's it. We're all just animals, especially now.
Again, as much as I hate to admit it, I think you're right.
Thank you, Joan.
You're welcome. I ate out of a garbage can last night, and I got these clothes off my neighbor's dead body. They still have his skin in them. And I felt lucky. Right now, I'm just worried about myself.
That's all it is. That's my only point.
Good luck out there.
Lock the door.
She has to, you know.
Lock it, now.
Wow.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, come on, guys. Let's talk about this. This was great. Well, what did you think? How did you like watching yourselves? And we even had a little like Hitchcock cameo from Disco Stew. I love this play. I thought it was great. You know, I think it, I don't know, without getting into any, you know, whatever political issues, I think we're living in a very tense time right now. I think this play really kind of sums that up. I think the tie-in with last night's play, which was this sort of like, I guess, post-apocalyptic future where you had, you know, vampire clones that were being bred. You have this thing of that you don't realize exactly what's happening out there until you see a gas mask. Wonderful gas mask, by the way, Stuart. I thought that was a great touch being produced. I thought it was just very funny and clever and yeah, just all superlatives. So now I will go back to you, Cate, and I will ask you like, how did you arrive at this? Like, how did you create this story? I see some obvious ties here and there, but I want to hear from you.
Yeah, well, in our initial Zoom call when we were all getting to know each other, and just in the course of that conversation, I found that Sam was a yoga teacher, and given the theme, the DRAMAPHEMERA, there's really, you know, yoga is about non-attachment and the present moment, so it seemed like a good thing to kind of play with. And I guess I've just been kind of in a dark place about, you know, things feeling occasionally apocalyptic, and you know, what can we do to kind of support each other and just, you know, spread the love and not be beaten by, I guess, you know, the more negative things floating out there. But that's hard.
Mhm.
So yeah, and then it just took a dark twist, so I just went with it. You know, and Sarah's character says, I, you know, ate out of a garbage can, and I'm wearing my dead neighbor's clothes. I still have his skin in them. I'm like, I didn't really expect that, but it kind of fits.
It was because it really puts you in this place of, all right, there's something really wrong now, you know, yeah, it's great how that sort of all shaped at the very end. In the beginning, we're not really sure what's happening with the, you know, the thing that you're doing at the beginning, and then the setting up all of the. It just shows that you're like being very, very detailed as a yoga instructor, Sammy, and then you get these, you know, conflicting, I guess, personalities in the class, which I thought was hilarious, because I always say, like, you know, when we're doing these intensives, we randomly pair everybody together. And just as another side note, this was such a wonderful cast, and there was no like pre-selection here. It was all just random. It's just the way it worked out. And that to me is exciting. I remember, Sarah, you had mentioned that you had that there was another person who was directing and you wanted to work with him. And it was like, you're not going to get a chance to work with him, but you're going to be working with great people. So you just have to trust it. And you see, it worked out. It just did. But I mean, I think in all the years we've been doing this, there might have been maybe 4 times where there was the chemistry among a particular group was just not right. It usually came down to one person who was not in a good spot. They were just not happy, and they ended up making it miserable for everybody else. And that's, you know, sometimes it went through, sometimes they had to leave and we had to replace them. But it was rarely, it doesn't happen very often, but it did a couple times. And that reminds me of this. It's like to have the, you know, you're trying to make the best of a situation, and you have someone who's just like, you know, so contrary to everything. It just demonstrates exactly what we're talking about.
Yeah, and I have to give it up for Helen. I mean, I'm so sorry she's not here.
Mhm.
but she just really embodied that part so well. She had that, and she's the loveliest person, and she's the
Mhm.
funniest person. But as soon as she read it, she got it, and she just leaned into it, and it just really, yeah, she really fulfilled
She was,
what that character needed. Yeah.
she's great. I've known Helen for long time. Like we've been like we've acted together like for many, many, many years. And she's just always so like bubbly, and that's who she is. Now, that's not always who she plays, but I've never seen her play like someone who's just like the over it, like tell it like it is kind of bitch that's like, no, that was just fun to see her play that. It was
Yeah,
great.
she did great. Yeah. And of course, Sarah and Sam were just, I mean, everybody was so great. Made this play, just put it over the top. So,
Yeah, it was
yeah.
wonderful. It was wonderful. So Stuart, Disco, Captain
Yes.
Disco, Captain's Courageous, by the way. Captain Disco's from Captain's Courageous. Um, uh, so you got to direct all of this. And you already said you had a great time with it, but I don't know. Tell me what your thought was, your like why you chose to sort of set it up this way, and like taking the time in the beginning with the setup and all of that. Like, tell me how all that came about.
Sure. Well, I mean, a lot of it started with the conversation I had with Cate, just to get a sense of what the piece was about beyond what I had already gotten a sense of it once I had read it. And then the second part was just being in the room and trying to figure out, okay, like mapping it out, trying to think of it from the audience perspective. How are they going to receive this? It's funny, even as I was watching the replay, I'm like thinking of it cinematically. I'm like, oh, okay, I would have put Samantha a little bit over here in this way because right now we're all watching it online in visual format, right? To get people together because some of the people were cut off. But in the space that we had, the room was very long. So what I wanted to do was maximize that, and also because it wasn't a very long piece, and because we're going into a world and we're also shifting from, since this was like, I think this was number 5 out of 6 plays, I
Mhm.
wanted there to be some change in temperature or just kind of shift between the last play. So it's almost like you go to a perfume place, you have a coffee bean canister, you take a whiff to desensitize yourself, and then you sniff other colognes and perfumes.
Mhm.
Likewise, I wanted to have something that would just set something up to kind of get into the tone of what Sam, Sarah, and Helen were bringing into this. And so using the space was part of it. And then also we had found a few things between highlighting the little tea candles that just came to me, which I thought was funny. And then other things, Samantha with the shaker.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing about a collaborative process where once we have an idea of what the field looks like, then we can bring the balls or the equipment onto it and play accordingly depending on how we want the rules of this sport to go. So the main thing was taking the script that Cate and I had talked about, then being in the room and seeing, okay, from sight lines, what's going to be the best way for people in the audience to experience it. And then when it came within the space to use the full room, but then also use something as simple as 3 lights, three, you turn them on, you turn them off,
Yeah.
just something to change to welcome people into the piece and then eventually welcome them out,
Mhm.
so that before the next piece began.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought it was wonderful. I think you definitely did that. You established it, and it again, I thought that I liked the transition between the two pieces. I liked the lights sort of only having half the room lit and all that. I thought it worked really well. It was great. It was great fun. Uh, Sammy, I love the fact you got to play a yoga instructor in this. How long have you been teaching yoga now?
I mean, I started in like 2008, so
Wow.
it's been a few minutes.
Yeah, so like you're like a serious instructor. You know, do you ever read
Very senior. Yeah.
do you
What's
ever
that?
read do you ever read Rumi? Like any of that stuff in your yoga classes?
Absolutely not. No.
Had to ask. I just had to ask. I thought it was just so, and again, what I've known you for a long time, I just think it was quite lovely to see you really playing this very cheery, positive person, doing her best to hold it together under the most difficult of circumstances. Um, yeah, I'm curious. All right, it's a little hard to say, how would this have compared to a regular yoga class that you would normally teach? But I have to sort of because I know it's not in the context of this play with all the backstory that we find out about through the course of it.
Oh, right. I mean, if you take out the apocalypse, then I mean, it's not as different as you would think. I mean, these are certainly like amplified versions of characters that you find in a class, but like there usually is at least one person who like is displeased with everything, that wants to get in there and pump out their push-ups and, doesn't have patience for anything else, and, kind of treats it like a buffet that they can like pick and choose.
Right.
And then there's usually at least one incredibly needy person who like tries to suck up all of the attention, like an energy
Mm,
vampire who just tries to like suck up all of the attention and life from the room and makes it about them. So, you know, yes, amplified, magnified, certainly. Like
mhm,
I've never lost it that way in a class. Have I on the inside a little bit? Sometimes, sure. Like, I could have a bad day and like my inner monologue. I mean, there's a dissonance, I think, between how I present on the outside and what's happening on the inside. If like it's
mm,
a bad day and you've got some bad people in there. But yeah, I it's not as different as one would think.
cool. I'm like that's exciting. Like I find I knew that it would. I just knew that it wouldn't be that different. But I just love the fact that it everything just was, all of the I loved all of the props that you you came with.
Yeah, I mean, one of I had the tambourine is actually my daughter is like a children's tambourine because we were talking about like how would she start off class? Like I think somebody said, well, it's too bad that we don't have like a gong or something. And I was like, I actually think it'd be funnier if it was some like crappy kid's instrument or just something, that like she found in the garbage or something that's not, because
Yeah,
everything about the tone and the context is very like people just grasping at pieces of clawing at pieces of survival.
right.
Or yeah, like Stuart had his battery powered candles and like had the idea that if one of them didn't light up to just take the highlighter and make it light up. Obviously they or like in the beginning I was sort of like I wish we could like sage the place, but I don't want to,
Yeah,
do that to people live in a room. And if Stuart happened to have like hand sanitizer in his purse backpack, his
yeah.
carrying bag, so like we spritzed away. So it was just fun stuff like that. All of us kind of, yeah, playing with the tools that we
Mhm.
had.
Well, no, and I love that. Like I also got the idea, just the impression, not so much the first time I saw it, but like, oh, I get it. There was an apocalypse. You probably don't have a lot of open flame right now, so that's why you have battery candles, and you can't really smudge the room because you need something to light. So I was like, okay, you have a, we got that's what you were doing, but I thought it was, and yet we couldn't really understand exactly why. And the fact you pull out a little kid's tambourine, it all makes perfect sense by the end as to why it came out that way. But
Oh, and I also just want to quickly say Cate is like an ally to women everywhere because she wrote into the script, like, says something about how we're wearing baggy, sort of thrown together stuff so that no one cast would have to, wear their like tightest Lululemon gear. Like,
yeah.
just such a thoughtful little touch.
I thought it was wonderful. And then just going back to Cate for 1 second before I talk to you, Sarah. Um, you've been writing for us for a while now. And in the beginning, it was like every time you got picked in a group, it was always a cast of men. And and you write men so well. You really do. I mean, from the right out of the chute, it was like, oh my God, you know, what do you, because the first one you did was all about the it was all the fantasy football. That was the first one that you did.
Yes, yes.
And you're like, and then you're like, I don't know anything about fantasy football. It's like, I would
Nothing.
never know that. You nailed it. It
Nothing.
was just like so perfect. But then, and again, now you had, I think, is this the first time you had like primarily an all-female cast?
It is the first time, yeah, with TBTB that I had all women and a male director. So
Yeah, so very, very cool. And again, you just nailed it. Like all, you know,
thank you.
it just felt like everything just felt very real. There was nothing about anything that came off as contrived, and it all made perfect sense. And I love the apocalyptic theme because I think it works so well with where we are in our world right now. I'm sorry to say.
yeah, yeah.
It really, but in a very sort of funny way too.
Yeah, it's kind of grounded, and it's also there's just something inherently uncomfortable and painful about the idea of a yoga class in the apocalypse.
Yeah.
I mean, it just seemed like, well, that's a pretty good pairing. I don't think, what I want to see what that would be like. And then working, with Stuart, and we just came up with wild stuff. And yeah, the actors were game, brought their own stuff, and it's really a great combination.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Sarah. So you got to play well, what would you say? Tell me about this wonderful role you got.
Joan. Oh boy. I'm a woman who is really, that's where the apocalypse is the Cate's, idea of the apocalypse. I really think I was that I represented the apocalypse and what was going on out there. And that I just happened to, probably, homeless, et cetera, eating out of garbage cans, wearing a dead man's clothes, just enabled me, or how do I say it, just filled me with the fact that as part of this apocalypse, I happened chance on a yoga studio and walk in, and just, I'm not a yoga person. I'm trying to survive. And because probably most of the people out there are dead. And I mean, it's pretty severe what's going on out there, very severe. And so, and this is 2 weeks later.
That's right.
From when that apocalypse, if I'm correct, Cate, started. But it's 2 weeks later, and I haven't on this, so I'm game to, I go in there. It's shelter from out there. Yep. So I go in there, and I just, I'm glad to be there. And I just go with the flow with whatever, and I give it back to I give it right, certainly like the yoga teacher. The other woman, not so much, but I give it back to her. I just give it right back to her. And so, I It was great. It was just, it was great creativity. You know, really creativity.
It's a lot of fun, and it's fun to see I mean, your role in this is a great role, because yeah, it's sort of like,
Contrast.
yeah, one of these things is not like the other, and here you show up, and yeah, it was just lovely.
And
How you
when
found it, maybe you stumbled on it. It clearly wasn't something that you do on any regular basis. You seem to be enjoying it. At least you tried to be polite despite all the stuff that's happening.
and
Uh,
and I was just, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Did I interrupt you,
you
Nick?
did not.
Oh, okay. You know, when I'm sorry, I'm just with they're the character. I know they're the actresses' names. It was Joan, so
And Annie
Annie, and so
And
Joan
Jana.
and Shoshana, yeah.
and Shoshana. Excuse me. Yes. So you
If
know,
that's her real name.
you know, when she leaves, when Shoshana leaves, I really, you know, and the way I slam, you know, because I know that when she goes out there, she might not survive. She might be dead as soon as she goes out there.
Yeah.
And just inhaling whatever's, you know, and you know, just inhaling. But so I slam that door and I come back and I'm not happy
Mhm.
at all with Annie, at all. But and so that, you know, that was just what I filled myself with.
Mhm.
And then again, she says, you know, of course I'm great. You know, which, that those, her lines, Cate, where it was always the same, you know, so what else is new? Of course I got it. Of course.
Mhm.
What were those lines? They were so good.
She says, yeah, I know.
Yeah, I know. And that was perfect to, you know, to end the play with.
Yeah, it was beautiful. I thought it was just really funny. And the thing that I loved about all of this was we didn't really know exactly what was happening
Exactly.
outside.
Right.
There's no indication of that until, I mean, there's hints of it that you don't really particularly put together until, and I think there's a great skill in that, in terms of not only how you presented it and how you as the actors don't really indicate that at all until towards the end of the play.
Yes. Yes.
But also the way it's layered. I I think there's a great challenge in writing short plays. And I would love, Cate, if you could talk a little bit about that, because I know that a lot of times people will say it's hard to write a short play because it doesn't give us a chance to really explore the characters. It only gives us a chance to create like a sketch of some sort. And a lot of people feel there's just not enough time to really create a full world within a short period of time. And yet, time and time again, we prove that is not true. Okay. How do you feel about, I mean, I know that a long form gives you a lot more time to explore, but how do you feel about writing sort of in the short form like this?
Oh, I love it. And I think it is challenging. It's, you know, the trick is to make it, to live that whole world within a very short, concise period of time. Obviously, you don't get to go as deep as a long form play, but I think that's kind of, you know, I think that's kind of also a blessing. And, you know, because you don't have a lot of words, you don't have a lot of time. How can I tell this story in the most impactful, efficient way possible and still have people the audience have an experience?
Mhm.
And that's the big thing. And also, if it's not any good, it's over soon. So you don't have to
Yeah.
you don't have to suffer through 2 hours and you get to move on to something else, or you get to leave the theater or whatever. But I yeah, I love the short form, and I
Mhm.
think it's not done a lot. I don't think it's done enough, but I think people love them. I think people love short play festivals.
Mhm.
I think they like to have just sort of a buffet of different tones and ideas and tableaux. So I really think it's yeah, I think it's a really a positive thing, and I think it's fun for actors too.
Yeah, I agree. It's so funny because there was a point like, like around, I guess it was maybe 2017, 2016, 2017. I had discussions with a lot of writers who were just like, short form is done, man. Like, the shortest play that you should ask for anymore is a one act. You should be doing 45-minute plays as no longer like a 10-minute or 15-minute play. And I was like, but no, I don't think so. I think and everyone thought everyone was voting me down. And then we had the pandemic, and it was like, the short form for online is perfect, because if I have to like make you sit and watch a 2-hour play or a 90-minute play or even a 45-minute play on Zoom, you're just like, oh, no way, man, I'm over it. But these are just like perfect. It's like, I don't want a full candy bar. I want a fun size. And that's what a short play is. It's a fun size. That
Yeah.
might be a great name for the next short play festival, because I think that really is what they are. And I think too, sorry to say, our dwindling attention spans, especially, no offense to the younger generation, but when you're online all the time, you tend to be like, yeah, just facts, facts. In fact, don't even write anything. Just put in an emoji. I just want a picture. That's all I want. So it's like, okay, so to be able to create a whole world in that short period of time is ideal for this. So I love that. And I think this play captures that beautifully. Last night's play captured it beautifully. Again, I always I always kind of rib Enrique, because Enrique tends to write very dark plays. That's who he is. He's got an incredible voice, an incredible style of writing, but he always tends to be more on the darker side of existence. Um, but really so complex. And I'm like, how do you, I mean, there's so many layers in this play that we have to peel through, and we do in that short period of time. And even with this, there's a lot of beautiful layers. And all of your characters have an arc. Like, we really see arcs in on all of the work that you're doing, which I think is really incredible. Yeah, I loved it. Do you have any?
Thank you.
No, no, no. I can only call it as I see it. Okay. Tucker, do you have any thoughts? This is the first time you're getting to, well, no, Tucker saw them already because he captioned everything. But any thoughts, Tucker?
It was great. And I like the travel Polen capital because she had no filter and she knew what she does.
Yep. Yep. And I mean, I think they're all wonderful, because you've got Sammy, who's just so wonderful. You're just so wonderful. You've got such a great presence. And I think there's an element of you that you just have such a bright presence as to who you are naturally. And to see this change from like finally doing your best to just keep it together and finally lose it is just a joy to watch.
Yeah.
And Helen, who I know forever, who, as you said, is just so lovely, who just is just mired in like completely self-involved. I'm not here to make friends. I just want to work out. I want to sweat. You're a rotten teacher. I didn't want to talk to you. It was just beautiful and very incredibly well directed. Thank you, Stuart. Thank you all.
Incredible.
So, all
And
right.
I want to say also the audience that we had was phenomenal. and
Yeah.
really was in at the first when Sam came in the room. They were all in. Yeah.
It's great to have a live audience. And one of the reasons why I love showing these is because I want, it's great to be able to, for someone who hasn't seen the play before, and they may be used to just seeing our Zoom plays, to be able to see how a live audience helps feed a play or feed like you really see the exchange, the energy exchange. It's all right there. It just makes it, it adds another element to it. It's also why, no offense to working on Zoom, I think it's an incredible medium and we'll continue to do it, but you can't compare it to live theater. Live theater is its own thing. Zoom theater is its own thing. What we're doing here tonight is trying to combine the best of both worlds. So I think it's fun to try all that.
Nigga, I'm down in 2 minutes.
Okay, we're gonna be late getting to Facebook, and I want to give you guys a few minutes break. So thank you. You can all get off camera. I'm gonna say good night to everyone, and I'm gonna ask everyone to join us on Facebook. So thank you all so much for being a part of tonight's work here. We're just so proud of everything that we do, and we're so happy to share it. Please, I hope you'll tell your family and friends. We still have 2 more nights. We have tomorrow night and we have Saturday night. And then if you want to see it, you can go to our website, tvtv.org. You can see all of these plays plus all of our past intensives. And there's also a lot of like photos and reviews of our other live on stage work as well. If you really care about us and you really would like to support us, go to our website and click the donate button at the top of the page. I'm not one to ask for money. It's hard for me to do that, yet it's something that we need as a nonprofit and to keep ourselves going, especially in the times that things are changing very quickly. So we need to sort of circle our wagons and sort of gather our support as best we can. So we hope that you'll continue to do that. If you do donate, we consider you a partner in our art. We take that incredibly seriously. So we hope you'll consider that as well. Now, tomorrow, we have another, yes, wonderful play. Tomorrow's show was written by another incredible writer who, this is the first time he's actually written a play for us. We've known Adam Lynn now since like 2000, 2001, something like that. And he's performed with us, and he's written novels, he's written books, he does a lot of storytelling as well. And he wrote a really wonderful piece called Turtle. We hope you'll join us for that. It was directed by the amazing Chris Chan Roberson. Chris, you've seen direct and act. So, or I'm sorry, you've seen him write and direct. Tomorrow you're going to get to see him direct. And we have a wonderful cast: John Paul Niang, Christopher Hurt, and of course the wonderful Melissa Gonzalez. So we hope you'll tune in tonight, tomorrow night, 7:30 on YouTube, 8:30 on Facebook. Ladies, gentlemen, friends, all of you, thank you so much for joining us. Please, if you want to see us again, we're going to be on Facebook in a few minutes. We hope you'll join us. But in the meantime, have a wonderful evening. Stay dry, stay safe, and we'll talk to you soon. Good night, all.
What's going on?